Hello and welcome back. This is going to be the last episode I'm going to be doing for this session. I will be recording probably some more later today, but for now this is going to be the last episode for this session. Your timing could not be better. The Admiral has just this moment returned from meeting with the Sahagin. I shall inform her of your arrival. Edgar, I'm glad that you're here. We have decided on our next course of action. As you know, we face two distinct but interconnected challenges. The transformations occur among the Sahagin may be one, but the blasphemy itself is the root of the problem. I just need to check something real quick. Okay. Thus far, those who succumb to the change have all been afflicted with the affiliated with the crushing tide, who continue to resist our diplomatic efforts. Were we to put a stop to the phenomenon, as well as address the grievances, we may yet have a chance at peace. Actually, I forgot to check something. Okay. To that end, I would propose a double-pronged approach. On one front, we shall work in tandem with our Sahagin allies to redouble our patrols. Should the blasphemy surface, we will share this knowledge and move immediately to dispatch the threat. At the same time, you will pursue a dialogue with the crushing tide. We need to bring them back to the negotiating table and then see what can be done to convince them to stand down. A key point will no doubt be the lingering issue of securing land for their spawning grounds. This is a decision I intend to approach with an open mind. It will be no easy task, but we succeed with the Kobolds, and I have faith that we will succeed with the Sahagin as well, so long as we parlay in good faith. You're wiser to temper your expectation, but I would not abandon hope ere we try. At any rate, Null has sent word that one Dowie, a priest who styles himself the leader of the crushing tide, has grudgingly agreed to hear us out. I will parlay with him face to face at the Spasa spawning grounds, and would have you at my side if you do not object, that is. Excellent. In that case, pray join me at South Tide Gate when you are ready. From there, we will go together. Was it north? Yeah, it's back to Skull Valley. I believe there's a quest for every level. So, 86, 87, 88, 89. I don't think there's one for 90. But there might be. But yeah, I'm going to... Let's see, we only have one more quest after this that we can do here. Because that'll make it go up to 87 unless we level up to 88. How prepared are you? Dowie is not known for his patience. We must take care not to incur his ire. I was told he would be at the spawning grounds upon our arrival, but it appears he has been delayed. Let us speak with the Sahagin here. Mayhap one of them will be able to shed light on what may be keeping him. One more thing. I come here as a representative of Misa Lamosa on a diplomatic mission. Should the talk deteriorate and things come to blow, I cannot be seen bloodying my hands. I trust that you understand. And with that, let us be off. So now accompanying you. Okay, so no talkies anywhere. Yeah, I think those shells that are up there, I believe they glow during the night. I think they glow. It has been a long time since the last time I've been here. Was this since when our filthy shorewalkers free to intrude upon our sacred spawning grounds? Pray forgive our intrusion. We seek an audience with Speaker Dowie. Where might we find him? You do no such thing, Shorewalker. We have not forgotten what you did to Lord Leviathan. Begone. We won't get much out of this one. Let's try elsewhere. Why do you trespass in our domain, vile shorewalkers? We mean you no harm. We have come only for a peaceful parley with your leader, Master Dowie. Where might we find him? We desire no parley with the shorewalkers. Who would steal our home. Were it not for your insatiable selfishness, we Sahagin would grow and flourish. Your grievances are justified. That is why I would speak with Master Dowie and work towards a peaceful solution. Empty words from the thieving shorewalker, but so be it. Soon you shall learn the futility of your efforts. Speaker Dowie is currently overseeing security at the spawning grounds. You will find him by the entrance, though mark my words, you will wish you hadn't. We shall see. I thank you for your aid. Shorewalkers at our spawning grounds, to what do I owe the displeasure? Speaker Dowie, I presume our apologies for entering into your home unannounced. I am Morbid Vaswin, Chief Admiral of La Misalamosa, and this is Edgar Magic. We come seeking a parley with what we might strive for peace between our people. Parley, you say? Prolonging this conflict can only further will lead only to needless suffering. The menace both our people faces, great indeed. If ever there was a time to set aside our differences and come together for the greater good, it is now. I invite you to join us at South Tidegate for formal negotiations. Shorewalkers and Sahagin coming together. What assurance do I have that you will not slit our gills the moment we set foot in your territory? I can offer naught but my word. We open our gates to you and invite you into our home as a show of respect. I do not trust you, Shorewalker, but let it not be said that Dowie of the Crushing Tide was a coward. I accept your offer, but attempt any treachery or subterfuge, and your people will drown in their own blood. Very well, Master Dowie. I look forward to a productive discussion. Let us return then. I shall send word to Null as well. I would have our Sahagin allies join us at the parley. Thank you for joining us here, Master Dowie. The air has sickens me. Be brief. Let us get straight to the heart of the matter. A common threat looms before us, one more powerful than any primal. with the potential to bring death without end to both Sahagin and Amincian alike. These circumstances calls for swift and united action. You doubt our intentions, but I remind you that we have liberated many of your kin from Leviathan's enthrallment. They and countless other Sahagin have joined us, of their own free will, and we may ensure the survival of both our people. By their deeds have the Amincians proven themselves worthy of our trust. Master Dowie, you and your crushing tide want only to secure a future for your people. I say to you, this can only be done by confronting this threat together. Threats, what is that threat you speak of? If it is unity you crave, then submit yourself to our command. Be as the Serpent Reavers. They are the only shore walkers I deign to call friend. You would ask us to willingly surrender ourselves to your Lord of the World. I do, for that, and that alone, we ensure peace between us. Propoporus, you propose not alliance but servitude. This way lies nothing but death for all Sahagin. Do you hear this, my spawn brothers? The shorewalkers have stolen this one's mind. He descries Leviathan and exposes the lunacy of our sworn foes. The treacherous wretches have abandoned our god and conspired to drive we faithful from our ancestral home. We must not let this stand. For shame, forsaken by our spawn brothers, they side with the finless ones and blaspheme our Lord Leviathan. They who steal our spawning grounds and slaughter our children, our future, our future. Behold, behold, the blessing of Lord Leviathan grants us greater and greater strength. You call this a blessing? Such horrors, flee, flee for your lives. Oh, he's dead. The beast made for Aleport. I leave this place to you. Splendid, splendid. Let all our spawn brothers be blessed with such power. This is the second time you've saved my life, Shorewalker. My gratitude is as balanced as the sea. But what of the Admiral? We must go to her aid. Yeah, she's fine. She has a shotgun. I was too late. I am sorry. There is no need for apologies. You are not responsible for my people's plight. But what I cannot fathom is Dowie's response, how pleased he was to see his brothers become slavering beasts. The fool believes it is a blessing from Leviathan himself. Any hope for a peaceful solution will be lost should Dowie and his crushing tide manage to wield these transformations as a weapon against us. I shuddered at the very thought, and yet the true threat, the blasphemy, is still out there, yes. Just so, the first ones to transform are those who have fallen into the deepest depths of despair. The more powerful their anguish, the more fearsome and formidable they become in their bestial forms, and the greater their influence over others. We can scarcely hope to stand against a legion of such foes. Would that more my people could do to help. I will have the Maelstrom patrol the seas for the blasphemy, that we might slay it with all due haste. But this may well amount to naught if the blasphemy too was born from a Sahagin. It could be sheltering in the depths, beyond the reach of our ships. In that case, pray allow my spawn brothers and I to serve as your eyes beneath the sea. Thank you, Noel. Though our efforts combined, we might yet weather this threat. As for your brothers, who gave their lives today for our cause, I shall see that they are returned home to be laid to rest as they deserve. You have my gratitude, Admiral. And with that, we shall return as well. There is much work to be done, and would see it done quickly. Cabbage. Edgar, I was just sharing our findings. So you see, the danger is exactly as the Sahagin described. While Dowie and his ilk have no means of forcibly triggering the phenomenon at present, to his plain they intend to seek one out. Redouble our patrols offshore and inform me at the first sign of anything out of the ordinary. It shall be done, Admiral. I worry that we may be stretching ourselves too thin. Should the situation take a turn for the worse, I will recall our forces from Garlemald, yet I would reserve that as a last resort. For now, I must get to work securing reinforcements. I ask that you remain close by. We may have need of your strength all too soon. The Admiral left a message for you, and the news is not good. It appears that a Lemisian merchant ship was assailed by a Sahagin raiding party affiliated with the Crushing Tide. To further complicate matters, the vessel in question was carried a shipment of crystals supplied to us by the kobolds of Ogormora. The Admiral suspected that Dowie means to use the plundered crystals to summon Leviathan. She has gone to meet with Noel that we and our Sahagin allies might take swift action. She bids you to join her immediately should the worst come of to the worst. Your experience in combating primals may prove essential. Pray make for South Tide Gate and rendezvous with Admiral Levelin at once. Back to Skull Valley. Thank you for coming, Edgar. The situation is grim. The crushing tide plundered one of our trading ships and seized a goodly stash of Goromos crystals. Though their aim is clear, it appears they yet lack the quantity needed to perform the summoning. Dowie longs for the days when every Sahagin cries out for Leviathan's deliverance and will stop at nothing to see them return. I cannot fathom what the crushing tides are thinking, what satisfaction, what happiness can be found in giving over their hearts and minds to a false god. And so we must thwart their designs, lest the bonds we have forged be broken, forever broken. By the same token, we cannot ignore the blasphemy, nor the transformations and presence may bring about. A battle on two fronts, neither of which we can commit to at the expense of the other. As we sail into the eye of the storm, I would hear your counsel. What course of action would you propose? The Company of Heroes. Now that's a name I've not heard in some time. 'Tis true that they answered the call many a time indeed. Other than you and yours, they are arguably none better suited to the task of primal slaying. But they disbanded over 5 years ago, and neither hide nor hair has been seen of their commander since. Absent their leader, I suspect they will be reluctant to join our cause. And yet, I can think of no better option. I'll contact Wisket, their erstwhile commander's right-hand man, and see if he will not hear us out. I will ask him to meet us at the Drowning Wench, and let us hope he is receptive to our offer. No, might I trust you and your brothers to continue the search for the blasphemy in the meantime. But of course, Admiral, should we discover anything new, we'll be the first one to know. Bagdonis Lamosa. If you want to see all of the other ones, I would recommend Jesse Cox, because he's, I think it's on his channel called Cox Clips, which has, him doing each of the, of the role quests. So if you want to see the other ones, I recommend you check his channel out. My apologies for the delay. I have sworn 5 years ago that I was done playing hero. Can someone explain what this is all about? Believe it or not, I am a respectable man with respectable obligations these days. Take the pole arm out of your arse, old friend, and stop pretending you're still not a murderous bastard at heart. Watch that wicked tongue of yours, avoid, lest I skewer it and prove you right. Nothing like a reunion with dear companions over a bottle of the wench's finest vintage. That is why we're here, right? A long time no eye catch uplanders. Brave Lax's tummy tickled to see gobby friends again. Thank you for assembling one such short notice. Spare us the pleasantries, Admiral. Why are we here? I make a simple request. Reform the Company of Heroes and lend Lamisa Lamosa your strength. Your reason, I'm sure I would hear. So there you have it. A terrible fiend known as a blasphemy prowls our seas, transforming the Zahagan into raving beasts. At the same time, the Zahagan themselves, specifically a hostile faction calling themselves the Crushing Tide, had declared their intention to summon Leviathan anew. Should they succeed, we would be hard-pressed to deal with the Primal while still dealing with the other threats. Alright, Pickle, indeed. Well, the answer is no. The commander disbanded the company, and as his first mate, it is not my place to gainsay his final order. Stop that, I say. Have you forgotten our company's creed? The duty of the strong is to protect the weak. Are the people now in danger? Now, not the same man and women we fought to defend years ago. The commander would not have turned his back on them, and neither should we. Bold words, Landarel, but do you truly believe that we can honor them as we are? Old mercenaries past their prime, lacking the commander whose wisdom and prowess saw them to glory once upon a time. Yes, your commander. What if Edgar here were to lead you in his stead? Surely you would not question his abilities. An intriguing proposition. I, for one, would not be averse to serving under such a decorated hero. Gobby friend has goodly head for thinking fighty think, and godly arm for thinking fight. As ringing his endorsement as any, but I would hear it from the man himself. Do you believe you are capable of leading the company of heroes into battle? Now that's the confidence I expect from my commander. Very well, then consider us yours to lead. 5 years to the day, truth be told, I was enjoying the more leisurely life, but when duty calls... Wait, before we proceed, I must ask, have we no way of reaching out to the commander? Forgotten how he took his leave, have we? Upped and vanished so we could each find our own way apart from him and the company. I doubt we'll see him again, much as I wish we could. To the matter at hand, the missions you will undertake. First, you are to aid us tracking down the blasphemy that roams the sea. Second, you must prevent the Crushing Tide from summoning Leviathan at all costs. Oh, is that all? And there I thought we might get our feet wet with a real challenge, eh? But in all seriousness, we should take care to decide who tends to what. Sounds like a job for our acting commander. I'm sure he'll give it all due consideration. All I see is a carbuncle. So, if I understand this correctly, we're to bring down this so-called blasphemy, of course. To do that, we'll need to find the damn thing first. We've also got to prevent the Crushing Tide from summoning their god Leviathan. A tall order in and of itself. As acting commander, if your job to decide who will be doing what based on their skills we each have to offer. I recommend that you start by having a chat with each of us, that you might deliver a sense of the strengths and weaknesses, mostly strengths, of course, of the storied veterans under your command. My specialty, you ask? Why, impaling fiends with this lance of mine, of course. The stronger the foe, the better. None are a match for me. It would be folly to waste my time on dealing with those slippery fishermen. Set me against that so-called blasphemy, and I'll have the thing on a skewer before you can say, a wise choice, and left after the Sahagin, he's like to help them summon Leviathan to sate his bloodlust. I will speak plain. I am not some battle-crazed barbarian like Landal. As Noon of the U, a tribe of peerless hunters, I conduct my affairs with discipline and prudence. As such, I know better than any that to rush headlong into battle is rarely the best course of action. Far wiser is it to observe from afar and proceed with caution. Very astute, if I do say myself. There are few better suited to the task of averting needless bloodshed than the famously circumspect Uda Nu. As you well know, my vision is somewhat lacking these days. I can still defend myself when necessary, but I'd rather it not come to that. My condition also leaves me rather unsuited to scouting and searching. It wouldn't always that the case, but such is life. On the other hand, I'd like to think I've gotten quite good at sounding out the intention of others during negotiations and the like. You have a keen sense for these things, I see. More so than reconnaissance or battle, Chamonix has a knack for working behind the scenes to see the company's goals achieved. Brayflex, mastery maker of Illuminati treasures, offers much hand-lending with ingenuity. Foreseeing spyglass sees far into ocean deep, crack fires go boom and blast beasts into bitsy pieces. A logical choice, if I do say so myself. Brayflox's mastery of tools and armaments are sure to avail you in tracking and felling that beast. It would seem everyone has their assignments. And I dare say your choices have made are nigh impeccable. If I didn't know better, I'd think you've been leading us for years. And with that, it is time we got to work. I have procured link pearls for one and all, that we may keep each other appraised of our progress. You may pick them up from Maelstrom Command. We best be off then, should we have need to regroup or reconsider our strategy call for us. Yeah. I will return to command and share their developments here with the Secretist and our Sahagin friend. Do join me if you can, Commander Edgar. Yeah. Go away notifications. I just went to check my phone to see if there was any messages, and I just saw that I had some notifications, and I couldn't make them go away. Oh, Stormrunner. Oh, Edgar the Admiral has appraised me of the situation in full. Furnish Edgar with a link pearl, yes. Of course, Admiral. It would seem the company is trying to reach us. Oh there, Commander, just give the word and I'll come running. Lower your goddamn voice, will you? Watch your tongue or I'll track you down and rip yours out. They sound more like mortal enemies than old companions. That's where Edgar comes in. I'm trusting you to whip them back into shape, make them a force to be reckoned with. I will have the Secretariat contact you if there are any developments. I would convey them to the entire company by link pearl, but we cannot afford anyone taking reckless actions. In the meantime, I will reach out to Noel and see he has gleaned about the Crushing Tide and their hideouts. Let us hope for good tidings, Commander. And now we will go to our banquet. Or feast, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm thinking after the banquet, I'll call it an episode. This was definitely a shorter one than I usually record, but I got a kitty to babysit while she heals. Plus, I'll have more time to recuperate for the next recording session I'll be recording later today, which will hopefully get me to past the other dungeon. Welcome. When the satrap asked us to entertain a party of honored guests, I was wondering who it might be. This is a lovely surprise, to say the least. By the way, I heard all about Kazal from your friend Grahatia. I understand there was nothing that could be done, but I was heartened to hear he meant us no harm. I cannot thank you enough for dispatching the beast. As the smallest token of our thanks, your food and drinks tonight. I'm here at the street. Speaking of which, what shall I start you off with? As you wish, pray join your friends, and I will bring you your drink. Welcome back. Whatever did the Radiant want with you, pray tell? Our allies have sent military delegates. That's news to me. Mind sharing the details? My leg is covered in wires.
So blasphemies now plague all the realm.
It will only get worse if what Father said is true, as it did in Amarot.
If that's our model, then shouldn't we expect the effects to grow more severe as it feeds off its own spread? As if people transforming into those monstrosities wasn't bad enough. If the flora and fauna, if the land itself turned against us.
No one would survive.
Here's your order, friend. May you find comfort in these dark times.
Where do we go from here? If there's one thing we've learned, fighting blindly and simply reacting to what comes will accomplish nothing. We must find a solution that addresses the fundamental cause. Before our strength is exhausted, before this crisis spirals out of control. Is there something, anything we've overlooked?
If there is an answer, Hydaelyn herself will have it. 'Twas she who bound Zodiac and forestalled the final days. Alas, we have heard naught from her since the Tower of Babel. Whether she cannot or will not speak, I can only speculate. Even the flower she gave us is no more. So advised the Watcher. But what could be the significance of that name? It is entirely unfamiliar to me.
To me as well. It meant something to the ancients, though. In our time.
Most surely. Yet I do not recall a single mention of it in the records of Anida.
Another dead end. And quite literally. It's not as if there are any ancients living we could go and ask.
Not alive as such, but not quite dead. Elidibus. I sealed him in the White Horus site of the Crystal Tower back on the first. Contained within that reservoir of ether that maintains it, ether that is returned little by little to the sea. Naught may remain of his soul. However, if part of it lingers, we might be able to speak with him there. I know we can no longer make that journey, but you, my friend, still can. Thank you, my friend. That would mean much to me.
If nothing else, should we learn the First is safe, we'll have that much more reason to keep fighting the good fight. That said, the odds are not in our favor, to say the least. Which is why we're fortunate to have Urianger up there on the moon, working hard to make all the necessary preparations for our departure, should it come to it.
And why we have nothing to lose by staying the course till the last instant.
Indeed. To the last, let us all do what we can. I will consult with Master Matoya and see if she knows of a way to reach Hydaelyn from the Ethereal Sea.
And I will visit the nation's leaders and attempt to ascertain how far the final days have progressed elsewhere.
Keep me abreast of your findings. I can seek out and slay the worst of the immediate threats, if only to slow the spread.
Unease, terror, despair. Try as we might to suppress them, these emotions will return to harry us time and time again. But when they do, remember this. Your friends and loved ones are out there somewhere, sharing in your struggle. You are not alone.
So ends the brief respite before the next revelation. Yes, so much left for you to see. Where beginning ends, and end begins.
Now then, is there anything we've forgotten to mention? Are your arms and armor in good order? In that case, it's time we each attend to our tasks. And when you arrived on the first, give my regards to Reen. Tell her I miss her. And with that, I will call that an episode. And I'll see you all in the next.